Welcome back to another enthralling session of the Global English Competitiveness video series. Today we're venturing into the concluding lesson of this unit, 10D. How do artists recreate? Prepare your writing tools as we discover how artists transform art. To recap, we have four can-do objectives. First, to show artistic expression based on personal experiences with art. Second, express the nature of art's preliminary expression. Third, describe the various elements present in art. And fourth, evaluate concepts and theories on beauty and aesthetics. If you can still remember, we have already covered our first three can-do objectives. You already showed artistic expression based on personal experiences with art. You have also expressed the nature of art's preliminary expression through the different activities. And in the previous lesson, you have described the various elements present in art. And now we are down to our last can-do objective for this unit. This is to evaluate concepts and theories in beauty and aesthetics. Without further ado, let's move over to our last lesson for Unit 10. Lesson 10D, How do artists recreate? Here are the different sub-lessons that will help us achieve our objective. Reading, vocabulary, grammar, listening, and writing. Flashed on your screen is a picture of a talented public school teacher in the Philippines, Bethram Dacuma Aligado, posing with her original and recreated artworks. She's a great example of an artist recreating another artist's works. Now, in order for you to fully understand the concepts and theories of beauty and aesthetics, you must try to recreate. Recreating an artwork opened many possibilities, not just for artists. Artists try to experiment in new ways to improve their art. Aside from following their own style for all the artworks that they create, they strive to try different mediums to recreate an existing work of art. These new mediums give a different texture and feel to the same art piece. It gives an art piece a chance to be visualized and enjoyed in new dimensions. That's what we are going to talk about in this lesson. There are three common ways to recreate art. Ay, hang on. Muna akong gibasa ka ganina. Oo. Huh? Sige lang, ikat lang tanong. There are three common ways to recreate art: transcreation, art fusion, and visual language. Now for transcreation, it takes the original message and conveys it in another language or into another art, for instance. With transcreation, the end result is most of the time a completely new art. This form of recreation tries to maintain the original style, intent, emotion, and tone of the original work and create something new and innovative at the same time. In other words, it is translating and creating. Art fusion allows an artist to collaborate with other artists, institutions, or organizations to create a new artwork. Art fusion can come in various combinations, basically a two-factor collaboration in creating a masterpiece. This is also considered as an art that would represent different ways of showing a place culture and tradition. Now for visual language, it is a system that communicates through visual elements which helps viewers understand visible signs. A painting is an example of a visual language. Artists use this to create and recreate their masterpieces. Oftentimes, visual artists exhibit this form of recreation using light and shadows to create an illusion of three-dimensional forms. Which recreation style do you prefer using? Now let's put your comprehension skills to a test. All you have to do is to choose the letter of the best answer. For example, in number 1, artists strive to recreate an existing work of art using a different blank. Now, based on the reading material, the correct answer is medium. That is what artists use when recreating their artworks. Now pause the video and answer the rest of the items. Now here are the correct answers. Now for our next activity, all you have to do is to write true if the sentence is right based on the reading material and write false if it is not. Take a look at number 1. Transcreation came from the words transportation and creation. Now, if you were very keen on noticing this detail in the reading, you will perfectly be able to identify that this statement is false. Transcreation actually came from the words translating and creation. Now pause this video and answer the rest of the items. Now here are the correct answers. All right, our next activity will test how much vocabulary you have learned in this lesson. Match the words on the left to their correct meanings on the right. Like this. The first word we have on the left is strive. Can you guess what it means? You're right. Strive means making great efforts to achieve something. Good job. Now, pause this video and answer the rest of the items. Now here are the correct answers. For activity 2B, complete the sentences by filling in the blanks. Use the words inside the box. I'll show you how. The first item reads, the absence or presence of light makes us see things in a different blank. The word that best fits the sentence is dimension. If we try to analyze our sentence, in the absence or presence of light, we see things in different perspectives, in different dimensions. Now, pause this video and answer the rest of the items. Now here are the correct answers. Your grammar skill will be put to a test once more through Activity 3A. Use the following lengths of time to make sentences. Also, be sure to use the past perfect continuous tense of the verb. It follows this pattern. Had been plus present participle or the root form of the verb plus ing. It is used to express the action that started in the past and continued in the past for some time. Now, remember that answers for this activity are subjective. As long as you follow the pattern and make sure to include the time expressions, then you're good to go. I'll show you how it's done. For example, in number 1, for 5 years, you can say, he had been working in the cafe for 5 years before it closed. In this example, we have had been plus working, which is the present participle of the verb were. Now pause this video and answer the rest of the items. To refresh what you have learned about past perfect continuous tense of the verb, let's take a look at this chart. This tense helps us depict actions that happened in the past and continued until a specific time in the past. Take our sentence, for example. They had been painting the scenery before it rained. Rained is the action that marks the end of another action that has been happening before it, which was had been painting. Another thing to remember about this tense is that it follows the pattern had plus been plus present participle of the verb. Now let's listen to the conversation between Carol and David about modern art. You must answer the questions that follow to see whether you have listened and understood the conversation well.
Hello, Carol. What did you do today?
Hi, David. I've just got back from the art gallery. You know, they had a wonderful exhibition of abstract art today. You should have come with me.
No, I really can't stand modern art. It just seems like children's painting to me.
Yes, if you don't understand what the artist is trying to communicate, it can seem a little like that.
Well, what did you see then? Tell me about some of your favourite pictures.
Okay, I'll try to remember. There was this one huge painting which was mainly black and gray. I think it was supposed to be a tree, although it could have been anything really. You know what these modern paintings are like.
And what did you like about that one?
Just the way the tree looked. It was like the tree was made of hard metal spikes, and the mix of white and gray made everything look like it was winter. Very cold.
What else did you see?
There was this other huge painting which was mainly black and white. It looked very impressive. It was a sort of spiral, and each part of the spiral was a white disc, and they all met in the middle. It's really hard to explain. But my absolute favorite was a painting we saw in the last room we visited.
Who did you go with?
I went with Melanie and her sister. Anyway, there was this beautiful painting, and it looked like a meadow, and all the grass was purple and red, and there was this green sky in the background. I looked at it and thought of summer. It also had this amazing jet black frame, and the whole effect was very impressive. I spent about 10 minutes just looking at that one.
Wow, that really does sound impressive. Maybe I should go and visit this exhibition.
You really should. I think you would be inspired by some of the paintings. I think you should look at modern art like food. You need to taste things to see if you like them. At that exhibition today, some of them were even for sale. That last one, the meadow one, was on sale for $8,000.
How much? That's really expensive. I may go and visit the exhibition tomorrow, but I'm not going to buy anything.
Okay, let me know how it goes. Give Mark a call. He wanted to come with us today, but his aunt was in town, so he couldn't. He'd be really keen on going.
Okay, I will.
Now let's try to answer the following questions. Let's take number 1, for example. Does David like modern art? Why or why not? Based on the audio, David is not very interested in modern art because he thinks it's just child's painting. He doesn't understand and appreciate it much. Now pause the video and answer the rest of the items. Here are the correct answers. The last activity for this lesson and for this unit aims to bring out the artist in you. Here you must read, analyze, and recreate the given narrative into a new art. You may use any medium of art that you feel would best give justice to your interpretation. Just make sure it is not a narrative as well. Now here's the narrative. The sleepy sun casts its last few rays in a meadow filled with colors that seem to oppose its glow. The wild flowers scattered around look bright and warm in contrast to the sun. In the process, a splash of orange, pink, purple, and yellow reflects the sky. The horizon seems to be blocked by the range of mountains in the far distance. Their giant figures emit a brooding silhouette. A lone tree stands on the side, beholding the spectacle with a man. There under a tree, taking it all in, waiting for darkness to take him too. Now here's an example interpretation by Ari Art 1, which is called Sunset Over Meadow. You can choose any medium for your interpretation as long as it captures the whole essence of the narrative. Here's an example interpretation by Ari Art 1, which is called Sunset Over Meadow. You can choose any medium of your choice as long as it captures the whole essence of the narrative. I'm sure you can provide an interpretation that could rival, or if not, surpass this one. You can do it. And with that, we have covered our final can-do objective for Unit 10, which is to evaluate concepts and theories in beauty and aesthetics. We read about the 3 common ways to recreate art, put your vocabulary knowledge to a test, refreshed your knowledge on the past perfect continuous tense. We also listened to a conversation about modern art and recreated a narrative into your own artwork. That concludes Unit 10D. Your participation have enriched our discussions and deepened our understanding. Thank you for joining us in Unit 10, Our Creative Nature. As you continue to explore and embrace your creative instincts, may you find inspiration in every moment of self-expression. Remember, creativity knows no bounds and has the power to transform our world. We eagerly anticipate your participation in our future sessions as we continue to celebrate the vibrant and innovative spirit of English competitiveness.